Hey, how's it going? I'm here with SlyFox and we're going to talk about gaming. So, what have you been playing?
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds came out on Friday. I saw the trailers for it and what have you. I was a bit, looks alright visually. I was like, looks quite nice. But everybody's touting it as like a Fallout in space. So I'm not a massive fan of Bethesda's Fallout because it's like Blue Peter version of, post-apocalyptic. It's just like, compared to Fallout 1 and 2, which I have a little experience with, but a lot of people that I know have played both of them through to completion, and we've had lengthy chats about different situations because it's interesting to hear, because your character builds in Fallout 1 and 2 could be so unique. Situations you would get yourself in, it was just everybody's game was different,
Just quickly, so Fallout 1 and 2, were they done by a different development house?
Yeah, I mean, the publishing rights were held by a company called Interplay, who sadly aren't around anymore.
They're one of the development houses that went bust. They were clean that a little while ago.
I think you'd have to look it up, but off the top of my head, there were some legal wranglings between them and Bethesda over who owned the Fallout rights. Bethesda threw lots of money at it, obtained the rights, and Interplay, to my knowledge, I think have just collapsed into dust. So
they did Fallout 1 and 2?
They published, I think it might have been Black Isle that originally did them, but Fallout 1 and 2 were isometric perspective, very bespoke character build. To give you an example, I know of somebody that made their way in the earlier Fallouts grave robbing, prostitution and running drugs. I mean, you even whisper that sort of thing around Bethesda and half the development team would probably have cardiac arrest. Oh God, oh no, can't do that. That's not PC. Oh no. So you walk into a bar and people don't like your face and they blow it off with shotguns.
This is in 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Oh right.
They were harsh environments.
Yeah.
You didn't meet any NPCs with like a kerchief tearing around their neck going, "Howdy, partner. I'm sorry, half my face is melted off from a radiation, but I'm having a really good day." There was none of that. It was they were quite gritty affairs. So Fallout 3 came out, Bethesda's Fallout, and it's first person. I don't have a problem with that. It had like the VAT system in where you could play it more like a turn-based. That was pretty cool. Had some nice slowdown features, Put a bullet in from like 100 metres out and the camera would drop down, you'd see it spiralling in, and there was some cool stuff, don't get me wrong, but I never found the story and interaction with the NPCs in the world that enthralling. So Outer Worlds, I was like, people can Fallout in space. They want that. When they say Fallout in space, they mean Fallout 3 and 4. There's this Fallout in space. I'm like, yeah. It's developed by Obsidian. Some of the team.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, they did. Again, their later stuff I haven't been a huge fan of. Like they did Fallout New Vegas, which is in Bethesda's Fallout world, and I was like, it's campy as fuck, and I don't really care for this. Again, didn't really take it serious. But they have done, I think they did Pillars of Eternity, which is again is a proper old school isometric RPG with loads of character dialogue options and different outcomes for things. They also did Neverwinter Nights 2 back in the day, which I really enjoyed. Really meaty, sort of D&D-esque RPG. So I was like, oh, okay, right. And now I know some of the development team that have worked on Outer Worlds they worked on the original Fallout 1 and 2. So I was like, okay,
yeah, this could be worth a look.
And I was like, well, I don't have a single player game on the go. I've got plenty of multiplayer options, but I want to just some downtime and play something at the pace that I want to play it at. This could be a shout. So I picked it up and I've been impressed so far. I'm probably about 10 hours in, something like that. Again, when you play something like this and people say you're X amount of hours in, that's like, it doesn't really mean anything, because how I play is not going to be the way you're going to play. It's going to be the way you're going to play. You might decide just to blitz the main campaign. But if you're buying a game like this, it's to explore potential avenues, quests squirreled away, things you can find.
Which I remember you and me playing Black Flag, and I remember it's Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I remember me going on the boat and going, oh, this is quite cool. I can do a bit of this, do a bit of that, and then I can upgrade every stuff. Next thing I know, I've just spent way too much time at sea. The boat's like a fucking battleship. It's like got everything on it. I've just been doing the side missions for the ship because I was quite enjoying that. It's like way too overpowered. And I should have spent more time doing other parts of the game. But no, I often do like side missions stuff.
Because in a game like this, you'll meet other NPCs. You might help them out. You may not do. You might not like them. They might have a grievance against you. They might join your crew, because you end up with your own star freighter with crew quarters that you can populate. So I've got 3 different crew members at the moment. 2 of them come with you at any one time. Have their own unique skill sets. Like one's medical, one's a techie. So like hacking computers, that side of things. So they can be useful to have around. Some of them are better in a firefight. You can specify how they go about combat. So even though they're AI, you can say, right, well, I only want you to be melee, or I want you to be purely ranged, a mix of both. How far are you going to be away from me? Are you going to be close, medium? So I've got my 2 guys set to medium, so I can push forward, scope an area out, trigger engagement, to get some stealth shots in. And then when it kicks off, they'll come in and close the distance. Yeah,
because when I saw you play a minute ago, I thought you were on your own. Suddenly these guys appeared. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they each have a unique skill that's on the cooldown that you can trigger in the gunfight as well. So yeah, it's got some cool stuff.
Just go back to the ship. Am I right in saying that you can get different ships with different amount of quarters in there?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything in the game yet to let me to believe
you can do that. Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure the ship that you get
is just the ship.
It is the ship.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you how you get the ship.
Okay.
But it used to belong to somebody else.
Okay.
And then you end up with it, and that's got a whole thing.
You didn't get it in a card game like Star Wars.
Well, actually, funnily enough, you say that was an option.
Was it?
Minus the Star Wars bit.
Yeah.
So I'll explain some things, but without.
Why don't you go back to the beginning? Explain what we're doing. What is the story?
So the story is, you start the game. You're in cryogenics. There's about 70 other people with you on the ship.
70 other people.
It's had its engine blown out. There's been some sort of mechanical failure. It's adrift. You're part of a colony crew going to a planet. You work for a corporation. The corporation's gonna own the planet, basically mine the fuck out of it or whatever. Like corporations do. Just fuck the environment up. Bollocks to that, we don't need it. It's all money. But they deemed that it's not cost effective to send anybody out to rescue all the people in cryogenics. So this ship is just floating around. Some lunatic scientist guy busts you out of your cryogenic tube.
All of you, or just you?
No, just you, the player character. Flaps his gums about why he needs your help, and literally puts you in an escape pod and fires you down to the planet that you're in orbit of. And you've been up there for 70 years.
So this is the same planet you're going to go to colonise?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody's, no independents have had resources to help out, and corporations like it's going to be way too much money to sort this shithole out, so we'll leave them up there. We won't worry about it. But this guy busts you out and you end up on a planet, and you end up acquiring the ship that belonged to somebody else. And that in itself has got some interesting
I was going
connotations.
to say, that sounds quite interesting.
There's an AI on the ship who obviously recognises you as not the captain of the ship, but needs you to be the captain of the ship, so the ship will operate.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I've become the persona of the old captain of the ship.
You mean you've had to pretend?
Yes.
So does the AI still know you're not the captain?
Yes.
But at least they're quite happy with you pretending.
Yeah. Basically, there's a dialogue. You speak with the AI and you're like, well, you do know he's dead, and I'm not that person. And they're like, yes. But they're happy for you to be.
That's quite interesting.
Which is great until you, again, I won't spoil stuff. But the ship got impounded when I landed somewhere.
That you weren't supposed to land?
No, I had to, no, I was perfectly fine going to where I was going. And I just happened to speak to this clerk guy behind a glass, like it's like a ticketing booth. I thought, oh, I wonder what he sells or does. And he introduces himself as like the Starport administrator.
All right.
And he says, right, I need to take your ship ID and your name. And I said, I was this guy I was pretending to be.
Oh, right. This is probably what I would have done.
And he says, right.
You're dead.
He says, right, oh, I've got to impound your ship. It's grounded. Because the person that you are being, will see.
Owes money on it or something.
Yeah, there's like.
Oh, crikey.
So, and I'm like, great. So then I go through this rigmarole of trying to prove to him that I'm not the person that I actually said I was. And then you feed him all these stories. And one of them is, oh, I won the ship in a game of cards. And he's like, this is great. I don't believe you. I was like, and it got more elaborate, the options that you had. And he's like, you'll say, yeah. And he's going, oh, this is interesting. Tell me more. So blah, blah. And then went on this 5 minutes sort of like, this happened and blah, blah, blah. I actually told him the truth. And he's like, that's a fantastic story. It's the best one I've heard all day, but I still don't believe you. So I was like, shit, I shouldn't have said that I was this person. So it's straight off the bat, the dialogue options, the interactions with the NPCs are more fleshed out than what you would find in Fallout 3 and 4. And the consequences for stuff that you say carry way more weight. Again, there is somebody you meet relatively early on who's after a book. I won't say any more. I won't divulge the actual quest, but he wants a book. You can go and get the book for him, right? He's been looking for this book for a long time.
Crikey.
And the reason why he's on this planet is to get this book, but he can't get it himself. He needs some adventurer, so you know it's going to be dangerous. So I got the book for him, and I hand him the book, and he's all, you can see enthusiasm in his face. Again, unlike Fallout 3 and 4, everybody's just like, you know, there's words coming out of the mouth, but there's no emotion. You can see he's pumped for this.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been after this book for fucking ages. And you give him the book, and he's like, and he opens the book up, and his facial expression changes. He goes, it's in, you know, he goes, it's in fucking French. I don't fucking speak French. Again, you'd never have that language in Fallout 3 and 4. That would be like, oh, you can't do that. Ooh, I might upset people. Ooh. But no, it's like people are reacting in a realistic way. You'd be disappointed if you'd be looking for a book for like the best part of your life and I gave it to you, but you couldn't fucking read it. Yeah, you'd be probably nonplussed by the entire situation. So this has kicked off now a whole quest chain of trying to pinpoint somebody who can actually read
Translate
this.
it.
Yeah.
Crikey.
And that's a side quest. That's not a main story thing.
I might forget this. This sounds really good, actually.
This whole situation could not have played out. This guy's joined my crew. I could have told him to fuck off. I could have said, you know, I don't like your hair. And he could have not joined the crew, but he did. And now this has happened. And the other crew members have got their own backstories and things as well. If anybody out there's played Mass Effect, they'll know what I'm talking about, where you build up a relationship with your crew and then the crew members feel They know you enough that they can impart part of the backstory and ask you for assistance with doing stuff. Same setup here. So yeah, it's fleshed out.
You really rated that game, didn't you?
Mass Effect 1.
You really rated that.
1 is my favourite out of a lot of them. Yeah.
I haven't played. Actually, I've got a feeling I might have played. I don't know why I haven't played it. It's one of those things that I came to much later. I just didn't have the time. It needs time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't have the time to give it, so I've never really played it. But I remember you said before it was a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't played it and you go back and play them now, specifically the first one, because it's quite old now, it's like 10 years or something like that. It might feel a bit rigid compared to what we're used to now. It's still a good game. Like a good book is still a good book.
Yeah.
But
you have to get over the rigidness, the old-fashioned. Some of the
it's gonna not. Yeah, it might feel a bit clunky in places. It's not.
I'd probably give Outer Worlds a blast. Actually, that does sound quite good.
Yeah,
it looks good. You had it up a minute ago. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I'm impressed so far. I want to get in there. I mean, yesterday I was meant to sort stuff out, because of something that's happening in the evening, and it was like lunchtime, and I should stipulate here. These days, I'm not so much of a single player guy. I prefer a multiplayer component. So for a single player game,
to grab you like that,
4 hours later, I'm like, fuck, I've only got 2 hours. People are turning up. I've got to do stuff, but I still didn't want to put it down.
So that's a glowing endorsement, isn't it? Really.
So yeah, I'm really into this.
Okay.
I really want to see the characters' story arcs, what sort of trouble we can get ourselves into, and that sort of thing. And technically, it's running well. There hasn't been any hitches or jankiness yet.
Okay.
And whereas,
what you're telling me that a major title's come out and that actually works out the box.
Yeah, off the bat.
Flipping heck.
I know. What sort of times are we living in?
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that for about 10 years.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I like it a lot. I'd recommend that to anybody if you want a single player game to seriously sink some time into, that you can play at your own pace and is interesting all the way through it. So, certainly so far, then it'd be something.
Okay, so if I said to you, give me your best moment so far in the game, could you do that without spoilers?
No, not really.
Then give me the spoilers. What is the best bit of the game so far?
Well, that book.
The French bit, the French book thing.
The whole book shenanigans.
That sounds good. What's the worst thing you've heard so far? As in, like, this could be anything from like graphics, or you said there's no bugs, so you haven't seen that. Or is it sound? What's the sound like? What's annoying you about it? Is there anything annoying about it?
No.
Does it feel smooth?
Yeah.
Really?
Nothing annoying. Sounds really good. Environmental sounds, a good positional audio. Works really well when you're out, or just walking through, like I'm on a starship, a space station freighter thing at the moment, and walking through the main hub area, sort of Blade Runner stroke Las Vegas looking, sort of neon signs up, stuff rotating and what have you. And just walking through a lot of idle chatter from NPCs as you move through the middle of them, pans around nicely. It's like, yeah, this sounds really cool as well. Engineered well from a sound perspective. The only thing is, this isn't a negative. I understand why they did it. There is a point where you can make a decision that will have a massive outcome on the welfare of two different groups of people. And I made a decision, and when I went back into that area, it was instantly apparent, like, that what I'd done had an impact. Now, to get to the point this place was in would have taken probably like a month or so.
Oh, okay.
But because of the sake of game time, it's a thriving hub town. You make a decision, you come back in. It's not a thriving hub town. It's all the colours are washed out. Everything looks like it's been ransacked, and there's people on the street like, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, everybody's out of work and things have gone down, like literally really quickly down the toilet, as it were. But obviously, so you have to go, okay,
understand that.
Yeah, because you're not going to be around there long enough for that period of time to see it progressively breaks down. So that, again, it's not a problem I have. That's just the way they had to do it, because you're not going to spend that amount of game time there to see it progressively erode and, fall to pieces. So, but it was a big thing. And even some of your NPCs, you're thinking about, and they're giving their opinion. Like, I don't think you should do this. Of course, there's good people that live here,
Was it like a really tough choice? Like Group A are going to get shafted or Group B are going to get shafted, but someone's going to get shafted and you go, crikey.
Yeah. I'd already made my mind up.
Because you didn't like their hair.
Yeah. No, I'd already made my mind up. Just from like a personal standpoint, it was like, this is the bad corporation. They won't give medical supplies to Group B. I was like, no, I don't agree with that. We're going to bring some swift justice to this situation. And we did. And we saw the outcome of it. And that's, again, I like that. We've seen the outcome of our actions. Whether you like the outcome or not is relevant. You've seen it, which makes it interesting, because decisions that you make have weight. And you're going to feel those repercussions, and your NPCs are going to give their opinion on it, and they may not like it. So, yeah, good stuff.
Excellent.